Trump has this obsession with coal. He did not stop talking about it on the campaign trail, and he's not stopped talking about it as president. A lot of it is political messaging. The idea of this blue-collar coal miner hits home with Republican voters in terms of imagery, nostalgia, all of that is called up. But it's not just messaging. Trump is implementing dangerous policy to back up that messaging. But let's first listen to him in West Virginia last night talking about, you guessed it, clean, beautiful coal.
We are putting our great coal miners back to work. Brave people. I don't know how the hell you do that, I'll tell you. You guys have a lot of courage. But we love clean, beautiful West Virginia coal. We love it. Right. And you know, that's indestructible stuff. In times of war, in times of conflict, you can blow up those windmills, they fall down real quick. You can blow up those pipelines, they go like this, and you're not going to fix them too fast. You can do a lot of things to those solar panels, but you know what you can't hurt? Coal. You can do whatever you want to coal.
What is he talking about? What is he talking about? What is he talking about? Coal is obviously destructible. I don't know why I have to spell this out. You know how you can destroy it? By burning it in a power plant for energy. It is burned. Are wind turbines way more destructible than coal? Should we have a Pokemon battle between a wind turbine and a piece of coal? Because, by the way, wind itself is actually indestructible, especially compared to coal, but Trump has been obsessed with wind turbines in the past, claiming that birds could destroy them, or it kills birds or something, pretending to be worried about bird life. Like, I don't even know why I'm giving this the time of day, but what I do know is that coal is not clean, and it's not beautiful. Here are some facts. Burning coal has the worst health impact of any source of air pollution in China, and caused 366,000 premature deaths in 2013. Well, that's China, but what about the United States? Estimates vary, but between 7,500 and 52,000 people in the United States meet early deaths because of small particles resulting from power plant emissions. That's huge. It is roughly comparable to the 40,000 people that died in car crashes in 2016. Andrew Wheeler, the new head of the EPA, Scott Pruitt's replacement, is a former coal industry lobbyist. And what do you know? Shocker. He's for loosening regulations around coal. The Trump administration announced a new energy policy on Monday that would lighten regulation on coal-fired power plants. Called the Affordable Clean Energy Rule, it would replace the Obama administration's Clean Power Plan, which the White House called overly prescriptive and burdensome in a statement. Had it gone into effect, the Clean Power Plan would have given power plants until the year 2030 to cut their carbon emissions by roughly 30%. But the Clean Power Plan was stalled by litigation and never took effect. And pretty much since Trump took office, the administration has been trying to wipe it from the books completely. So Obama's signature climate legislation, or at least one of his few pieces of climate legislation, gave power plants until 2030 to cut down their emissions just 30%. But the Trump EPA goes, too much, overly burdensome. Really? It's overly burdensome to put in lax regulations to an industry that by many estimates is killing tens of thousands of people every year. The article referenced cars earlier. When the US government saw that cars were killing so many people per year, they created regulations like seat belts and made the auto industry comply. That was before our government was completely bought, when it was doing its job. Now it's way, way too radical to ask power plants to cut carbon emissions by 30% in like 2 decades. Groundbreaking, I know. And what is even more troubling is that getting rid of this Obama-era law will not only hurt the environment, that's a given, and we know that, and the EPA knows that, of course they do, but it will kill more people, and the EPA acknowledges it in its own document. The administration's own analysis revealed on Tuesday that the new rules could lead to as many as 1,400 premature deaths annually by 2030 from an increase in the extremely fine particulate matter that is linked to heart and lung disease, up to 15,000 new cases of upper respiratory problems, a rise in bronchitis, and tens of thousands of missed school days. A similar analysis by the EPA of the existing rules, which were adopted by the Obama administration, calculated that they would prevent between 1,500 and 3,600 premature deaths per year by 2030 and would reduce the number of school days missed by 180,000 annually. So yeah, there's a discrepancy in the numbers. We don't know how many deaths it's going to cause. Will it be between this number or this number? But it's clear as day. This will cause deaths. The difference is that the Obama administration put at least moderate regulations in place to curb this problem, while the Trump EPA, headed by a former coal lobbyist, decides that, he can just live with those deaths as long as the coal industry that he just left gets money in their pockets. What a good friend and colleague he is. Because with friends like these in the EPA, who needs to adapt and actually make an effort to, compete with renewable energy? And what about renewable energy, by the way? Clean energy. Because I see that the industry is booming in Europe and that new jobs are being created left and right there. And I thought you were all about creating jobs, Mr. President, President Trump, and that the economy was your chief focus. Bloomberg analyzed government numbers that expect continuing declines in coal, with nearly every major analysis showing that production, consumption, and exports will all decrease by 2019. Trump is leaving us behind in an ice age economically. No one in the industry is talking about building new coal plants. Since 2010, power plant owners have either retired or announced plans to retire 630 coal plants in 43 states, nearly 40% of the U.S. coal fleet, according to data by the American Coalition for Clean Coal Electricity, a trade group that represents utilities such as Southern Co. and producers such as Peabody Energy Corporation. American Electric Power Company, which has retired 7,200 megawatts of coal generation capacity since 2011 and announced plans to invest heavily in natural gas and renewables, said in a statement it doesn't plan to reverse course. This is why it drives me up a wall when a layman says that the Republican Party is better for the economy. What they are better for is short-term gains for already existing industries. They couldn't care less about the actual growth of the economy, which requires innovation and investment in new industry. No, they are about enriching their donors, the industries that are already rich enough to have pockets deep enough to buy them off. Up-and-coming industries aren't able to purchase politicians just yet, so they don't get the time of day. Being in favor of short-term gains for yourself and the industry that funds you does not make you good on the economy. It makes you a greedy idiot. And that's putting the thousands of deaths that will be on their hands aside.